Now, let's shift gears slightly to another form of fraudulent filing, the tax protester. This scenario involves an individual who files a return with frivolous arguments and even alters documentation. This, unfortunately, results in a hefty penalty and potential legal trouble. Taylor, imagine someone believes they don't have to pay income tax because they consider it unconstitutional. They file a return riddled with these kinds of arguments, maybe even crossing out pre printed sections or altering the forms. That's our tax protester scenario. Sam, what are considered frivolous tax arguments, and why are they penalized so heavily?
Frivolous tax arguments are those that lack any legitimate basis in tax law. They are often based on misinterpretations of the law, conspiracy theories, or outright denial of the tax code's validity. The IRS penalizes these filings because they waste resources, clog the system, and ultimately undermine the integrity of the tax system. The penalty, as mentioned in the publication 17, can be as high as $5,000.
$5,000. That's a lot. So claiming you're exempt from taxes because you work for a private company or because you only deal in cash would be examples of frivolous arguments, right?
Exactly, those are classic examples. The IRS has encountered many variations of these arguments, and they maintain a list of positions they consider frivolous.
So, if someone genuinely has a concern about their tax liability, what options do they have besides resorting to these frivolous filings? What resources are available to them, Sam?
The IRS actually offers several avenues for taxpayers to address their concerns legitimately. They can file an amended return if they discover an error. They can also request an offer in compromise OIC if they're facing significant financial hardship and can't pay their full tax liability. And of course, they have the right to appeal an IRS decision through the appeals process.
So, if I understand correctly, if I disagree with how the IRS calculated my taxes, I can appeal, but I need to base my appeal on actual tax law, not just a belief that the tax code is unfair. This reminds me of what we discussed about negligence in the DIY deduction disaster scenario. It's important to understand the rules, even if we don't agree with them.
Precisely. You need to present a valid legal argument. You can't just say, I don't think this tax applies to me. You have to show how the law, as written and interpreted by the courts, supports your position.
A key point here, Taylor, is that while the system may seem complex, legitimate channels for addressing concerns do exist. Resorting to frivolous arguments not only invites penalties, but can also lead to more serious legal issues. So, to recap, frivolous tax arguments are those without a valid legal basis and are subject to significant penalties. Resources like amended returns, offers in compromise, and the appeals process are available for taxpayers with genuine concerns. Taylor, any final thoughts?
It's really important to emphasize that while it's okay to question or disagree with aspects of the tax system, it's crucial to express those concerns through the correct channels. Filing a frivolous return is not the answer.
Exactly. Address your tax concerns through legitimate channels and avoid frivolous filings that can lead to significant penalties and even legal repercussions.